Hello and welcome to the Writecome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode from Writecome.com. And today's podcast episode is a little bit different in that today's podcast episode is an aha moment I had this morning. Now, as you're probably well aware, this past couple of episodes of this podcast have moved away from kind of physical, techniques and writing and how to create courses and how to come up with characters and all the different things that go into our writing business. And I have got more into the mental side of the game in that, a lot of people will sell you courses on how to be a better writer, how to sell books with Facebook ads, how to create courses and all those different things. But nobody ever really tells you that you need to work on your mental game first, because unfortunately your mental game is what you're going to carry into that training course. So if you have any kind of negativity, if you have any kind of lack of belief in yourself, if you've got self-esteem issues, or you just have a lot of mental baggage from maybe years ago, unfortunately you're going to carry that into the course, and you're going to fit that course through whatever kind of mental map or whatever that you have in your mind, in that even though the course might help you to sell books through Facebook ads, you're probably going to give it, a go for a day or two, or maybe you'll say to yourself, well, I'll come back to it at another stage. I'm just too busy right now, but it is a good course. I'll come back to it, and you put it in the back burner, and you'll probably never ever go back to it. Or you might have a little bit of, the first maybe attempt you do to sell books through Facebook ads, maybe a complete flop. And because of that, then, because you don't really believe in yourself, you see that it isn't worth your while doing, and maybe you've given up. And so unfortunately, a lot of the things that people are buying are, they are looking through those courses, are using them with the kind of mental lens that they have. So that's why I have, changed this past couple of episodes in that we're looking at the mental side of things. Now, at the moment, while I wouldn't put myself on any pedestal, I'm still learning at the moment, and I wouldn't call myself an expert in any way. So these couple of episodes have been a kind of what I am doing at the moment and the things I have noticed. Now, one of the things I noticed this morning was something that Bob Proctor had said many, many times in his audiobooks and things like that, in that a lot of us are conditioned in a certain way. So as he said, if you are conditioned to only earn $25,000 a year, you are going to see the world as, as something that can only give you $25,000. The actions you're going to take are going to get you back to $25,000 at the end of the year. The people you're probably going to hang out are probably people who earn the same as you. You're not going to feel comfortable maybe hanging out with people who are earning maybe $250,000 or $1 million a year. You're probably doubting yourself that you can take the actions to get yourself to that point. So everything you are doing right now is through the kind of mental limits you have on your head. So as Bob said, when somebody comes along to you and says, well, here you go, even though you are earning $25,000 a year, I am going to give you an idea that's going to bring you in $50,000. Now, you're probably going to look at that for a while. You're probably going to fall in love with it. But over a while, you are going to look at it through your own kind of 25,000 mental limitations, and you're not going to believe in yourself. You're going to say, well, other people can do that, I can't do that, and you're probably going to ditch that idea and go back to your $25,000 thinking and actions, and because of that, you are going to remain in the same place. Now, Bob Proctor had mentioned that many, many times before. He says that kind of $25,000 mental plan or whatever you have in mind is X-type conditioning. So it's probably conditioning we have received from teachers, from school, from our parents and all those different things. And that is why we, maybe only believe in ourselves to that limit, or that's why we get the same income year after year after year. But as Bob says, when somebody comes along and says to you, well, something, I think you can earn $50,000 a year, Bob says that is Y-type conditioning. So when you kind of fall in love with that idea for a while, when you kind of bounce that idea around in your head for a while, it's going to bounce up against that X-type conditioning. So as Bob said, for you to change and for your income to change and for you to take on different actions, that kind of X-type conditioning needs to fade away and needs to be replaced by Y-type conditioning, in that you will probably start taking actions of a $50,000 person. You're probably going to hang out with people who are of that same kind of income. You're probably going to see what they're doing and copy what they're doing, and you're going to have more kind of belief in yourself. And because of that, then your income is going to rise. But until that happens, Bob says, there is a lot of clashes between the two kind of X and Ys, in that, because the X is there for so long, it's a dominant one, and Y hasn't much ground kind of to hold on to. So when you do keep kind of, repeating maybe affirmations to yourself or thinking about that great idea you're going to take on, it's going to bounce up mentally against that X-type conditioning. And for a while, even though, it might sound the best thing ever, you're probably going to ditch it after a while. You're probably going to go back to your old routines, and you're going to dismiss that and say, well, it's not worth it. I have to put more work in. I can't see myself ever earning that income. And if I do earn that income, I'm only going to have to pay a higher tax on it. So you're going to mentally come up with a lot of excuses why you're better off the way you are, and why the 50,000 idea isn't right for you. Now, Bob had said that many, many times before, and it was only when I was round this morning, I was just listening to him mention it. I was just kind of getting a little bit of a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling in myself at the moment, in that there's something that I am making an income from right now, and it's paying a decent income every month. But the idea I'm bouncing around in my head at the moment, or the goal I have at the moment, is far, far away from that, in that I am going to be earning far more money from it. But it will mean at some stage that I am going to dump the previous income. I'm going to walk away from it, and I am going to concentrate all my efforts on the larger income. So I'm going to be doing different actions. And it was only when I was thinking about it this morning, my mind was constantly throwing up ideas saying, well, Barry, you can't throw that income away. If you throw that income away, what are you going to fall back on? And, you're comfortable right now. It's a really big goal that you're looking to go to. And do you really think you're going to get there? Or what if you fail? And, what if you fail? And then when you do fail, you're not going to have that previous income to fall back on. And this had been playing through my mind over and over again, this kind of devil and kind of angel, little voices between my head, kind of, debating among each other which I should go for. And it was only when I was actually listening to that I just Bob just had kind of said it at the time. He said, that the X and Y condition will be clashing against each other. And, you are probably going to go back to the X-type conditioning. And it was just as I was listening to myself, I was actually talking myself out of my better goal, or the bigger income, and I was looking at the smaller income, and even though it was smaller, even though I wasn't in love with it, it was more stable in my mind. It was something I always would have. The people that I was hanging around with were nice people, and it was giving me all the benefits of all those things. And it was only when I actually had thought to myself, I said, geez, I was doing exactly what Bob was actually saying on the track at the time. I was convincing myself that, my life was better with the smaller goal, that the bigger goal was going to be too uncomfortable, and, I was taking a risk. I was kind of taking a leap without having something to fall back on, and all those different things. And, maybe you are doing that right now as we're heading into 2021. Maybe you have a bigger goal. Maybe there's something you would like to do. And, just to make you aware that if you are going for a bigger and better goal, be aware that your X-type conditioning, that kind of smaller, lifestyle that you're living right now, is going to battle you all the way. It's going to come up with loads of reasons why it's right that you should stay the way you are. It's going to give you, reasons, as I said, you're going to probably pay less tax. You're going to not be able to hang around with the people you like, and it's always going to be there. And it's going to give you such a convincing story that you're probably going to look at the bigger goal, or whatever it is you are looking to achieve, as probably the second best option, and then you're probably going to dismiss it, and then you're probably going to return back to where you were. You're going to dismiss the Y idea altogether. You're going to completely forget about it, and then you are going to go back to the X-type conditioning, and you're going to find yourself back in the exact same place you are next year because you have held on to the X-type conditioning. So, as I said, it's just something I had discovered this morning, and it was a big aha moment for me, in that my mind was building up that X-type condition. It was telling me all the great reasons to be the way I am. And, that Y-type condition, the Y-type idea that I was trying to impress upon it, the goal card that I am reading over and over again, the kind of lifestyle that I'm envisioning over and over again isn't right for me, and that it's risky, it's scary, and there's a lot of things going to go wrong. And if it does all go wrong, I won't have the X kind of, result to fall back on. Now, as I said, it was a big kind of aha moment for me in that, sometimes you hear things over and over again, but when you actually take them into your own life, you do realize that it is happening as well in your own head. So I want you to give that some thought today. It was a big wake-up call for me this morning. If you are looking to do something uncomfortable, get out of your, whatever lifestyle you're in at the moment, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's writing, or whatever goals you are looking to go, while you have that goal and while it's not kind of set in your mind, there's going to be a battle that's going to go on between what you're putting into your head and what is already there. And you're going to convince yourself in every way possible that your new goals isn't right for you. So that's something to keep in mind, to be aware of that and to, force yourself through it, and to just understand that it's not that you don't have the talent, it's not that you don't have the skill, it's not that you don't have, whatever it is your mind is telling you. It's just that your X-type conditioning is trying to do its very, very best to fight you off and to keep you where you are, and not to kind of upset the apple cart. So keep that in mind. Whatever your goal is, your mind is going to fight you at every chance. And, it really surprised me this morning when I actually seen my own mind do it today. So that was kind of a big aha moment for me. So I hope maybe that's helped somebody today. I hope maybe it's maybe help you realize what's going through, why you're feeling uncomfortable, and why you are not believing yourself that you can achieve what it is you are looking to achieve, that maybe the bigger goal you're looking to do. So as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. I hope I've helped somebody out. And if maybe you'd like me to cover something, or if you'd like to reach out to me, or if you'd like to, give me some comments or some feedback on the podcast, you're very, very welcome to reach out to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to know more of what I am doing on the Writecom site, which is a lot of writing and self-publishing products and courses and information on that. If you'd like to find out more about that, if you want to head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com. And as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Writecom.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.